Welcome tonight to another Heel Heat edition. Preview predictions for Bad Blood. JJJJ. The casual fan, and why am I saying welcome to the party defense?
I don't question these things. I don't know. Like I said, I'm just a casual here. I'm here once a month.
There you go.
I do what I do.
There it is.
And then I leave for another month.
Oh man. Okay, so tonight's SmackDown was not like a go.
It was a stinker. It was a stinker.
It was like a house show on TV.
Yeah, essentially. Nothing major to report, unfortunately.
All right. So, with that being said, that making things easy, let's go straight to the match cards. And we got Honey's picks already as well, too, because she's not going to be able to do this tonight. All right. So, first off, let's start off with Nia Jax against Bayley. Crystal has Nia Jax retaining. Jay, what do you think?
I think Nia has to retain. I think this is her first or second defense. It's still really early, and I think you wanna slow play this Tiffany thing, just because low key I'm kind of hoping, praying, waiting for someone or something like Alexa Bliss or, well, I would say Roxanne Perez, but at this point with Tuesday happening and Cora Jade coming back, I don't think that they're gonna move Roxanne anytime soon. So I'm hoping for like an Alexa Bliss or a Charlotte Flair, and I can't believe I'm saying that, to kind of come in and shake up that top of the card for the women and give Nia like some real formidable wins before you go into the draft, which I think is maybe coming up soon. I don't know. I heard rumors of it. Don't really know if they're still doing it, but we'll see.
I agree. I'm also saying that Nia retains. It doesn't make any sense to have her lose that belt so quickly. You want to give her at least a decent run on there, but you also want to figure out how you're going to do this Tiffany's trend. Do you pull a trick on her taking it off of Nia, or do you have her winning the Raw Women's title?
No, I have her taking it off of Nia.
Right, but I'm saying you want to have that option too, where you're not just having it on Nia. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? I think you can do a situation where like she keeps telling her like, oh, you need to go and like think about doing it to other people. But I want her to, even if like she shows up with Nia, she never seriously like makes an attempt at it, or she makes an excuse not to cash in, even though there are like moments where she should and would cash in. I think if you play it like that, it'll be really cool, especially after like the Nia Liv match. Rhea Liv match. Like you have both of them come out, you have Nia like yell at her like, "Yo, like this is your time, this is your thing," and then like whoever like the winner is of the title, like whoever's with them kind of comes and like scoops them up and like almost so it looks like, so Tiffany's like, "Hey, no, I lost my shot. I was about to, but I lost my shot," and Nia's like, "Nah, bro, like." What the fuck are you doing?
I could see them doing like a Damian, like what was going on with Damian Priest,
and
why he didn't pull the trigger or like his failed attempts, but with Tiffany and Pretty Deadly, like Tiffany goes like, I'm gonna cash in. Where's my briefcase? And they're like, it's over. Like we don't know, and they're trying to look for it because they forgot what they put it for. They go like, oh, well, we left at the hotel.
Yeah.
But like they make fun with it. They have fun with it. You can do it that way, where they're at Raw or they're at a pay-per-view event, like, where like tomorrow night, that could happen. We're at the match, like you said. They're in the back. Nia's like, hey, cash in. Look at Liv. She's just laid out. Cash in. And she's like, okay, Pretty Deadly, where's my briefcase? It's at the hotel. Sorry, can't cash in.
Yeah, like you do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think honestly they shouldn't let it last as long as like some of the other ones, but I think letting this kind of play out to Royal Rumble seems like a healthy amount.
Yes. I was gonna say that. We got
because it gives you the option at least to either put Nia in the Royal Rumble as like a last minute entrant, or you really pull the rug from under her and you have the Women's Royal Rumble go before the her world title match, and then you have Tiffany take the title so that Nia feels like she can't get her title back. She doesn't get a rematch, so she has to like win Elimination Chamber or something. And like really have like this rage, like almost like the angry Hulk, like just running roughshod trying to get to Tiffany and can't.
Right.
So then you set up that WrestleMania match.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Finn Balor and Damian Priest.
This one is hard because it's a little of I don't care, like the apathy of this match, because they really did not do a great job of building it too much. Like, I feel like this match needed a stipulation to make it more interesting instead of it just being a straight up match. But it's also because they've already made it very clear that Finn really can't fight Damian one-on-one. So it makes Finn seem more like weasel heel versus like he's supposed to be like this intimidating factor. But because Damian and Rhea won at the last pay-per-view, I'm gonna say Finn, just because I think they want to keep dragging this on because they have nothing for either side, honestly.
I would agree with it, but I can't turn my back on my dude. I'm sticking with Damian. I think they're gonna make this last for as long as they want. I think they're gonna kill us with this one. We're gonna get tired of it and be like, okay, can you just end it? Mm-hmm. Because I think they just messed up and they rushed it. They should have had Priest go through Carlito, go through Lord Farquaad, and go through Dominic a little longer instead of just giving him Finn right away, you know.
And they should have made Finn feel more like they shouldn't, like when the group first formed, they got beat up. And they've gotten beat up more often than not, because I get you want to make Priest look like a strong baby face. But that's the problem with your big, like your heavies being pulled out of the group. Now you don't have heavies. You get what I'm saying? So now you have to use like the pack mentality, but the pack mentality doesn't work when this person was a part of your pack from before. So I just like, as much as I like kind of what they've done with the Judgment Day, I think they still need some firepower. And they just don't got it right now. Like they really just don't got it right now.
No.
Like this has always been my issue with when they do stuff like this though, is like you have talent not only in catering, but you have talent in NXT catering just sitting there. Because for me, it's like you got Finn, you got Dominic like, oh, I'm going to bring Carlito in and all this other stuff. And I'm like, you have two Hispanic strong heavies in NXT that are essentially acting as Jada Parker's valets right now. And you're telling me Dominic, as the former North American champion, can't show up in NXT and tease trying to get out the mud into the Judgment Day? Or Finn Balor, who's a former NXT champion, don't have some strings that he can pull?
I'm telling you.
You get what I'm saying?
Like, I know, but I'm telling you that's probably going to come maybe sometime next year.
I get it, but it's one of those where it's like if you're gonna remove Priest the way we all said that it should happen, you have to at least make it look like he is replaceable. Because the problem with the Judgment Day is the big void is like the group is now completely changed and it's fine, but they look significantly weaker. And that is my issue.
Yeah. And the thing is, as much as I like Carlito, but they never built him to be kind of like a not the replacement. Yeah, they never built him to be an enforcer.
And that's the thing. That's not his character. That's not who he is.
Right.
That's never been who he is. So to bring him in and just be like, well, I'm just going to be here for the ride. It's like, when realistically, like you could have used him in like the SmackDown mid card. Like, again, he's better used in other places that you're just not using him. Like, you've pigeonholed him into this group for no reason. When there are other people that, again, if the point of the Judgment Day is still to build talent, you need to like bring like the point of NXT is for you to bring in talent. Even if the talent's not 100% ready, bring in that talent.
Yeah. Like I feel like they brought in Carlito to kind of be the buffer for Dominic, but it's like he's not even wrestling as much. Dominic is last year, like Dominic had the most matches of anybody on the roster.
Yeah, anybody. And he's got the second most. He's got the second or third most to Cody and Jay right now.
Yeah. So
it's like, why is he here if Dominic's fighting his own battles, losing? But like, what's the point of Carlito then? Like, the one-liners and the nostalgia, like, it's a waste. That's why it's like this feud I don't care about that much.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel bad because I feel they're gonna have it so long, they're gonna get bored of it. But like, all right, can you guys end it already? Please just be over with it. But the thing is, they have no idea where to go with either Judgment Day or with Priest or with Rhea Ripley. Like, do you keep Rhea and Priest together as the territories going forward? But then what do you do at that point?
And that's the thing. I don't know if you can do that because the good thing right now is that Raw has such a healthy, like, upper mid card to like top of the card thing that if you move Priest then into also that territory, you have matches for him. Like, you can do stuff with Priest right now. The problem is you can't do shit with Rhea. And like, Priest is not just gonna leave Rhea out to dry. So it's like, cool, you gotta give Rhea something to do. And I mean, I get you don't want to put her into a faction again, and she burnt a lot of bridges. I get it, but again, NXT has a healthy ass roster right now. Go have Rhea make some friends. Yeah, make it so that NXT is a part of the DNA of both main rosters, so that when you have people go back to NXT, it means something.
What the thing is, like with Rhea, because she's a unique talent in the aspect where she has speed, she has power, athleticism. It's like she's like Andre the Giant, like, from back in the day. Like, you have this massive talent. How are you going to beat them? Like, for them to lose is hard. Like Rhea losing, like we said, Rhea losing to Alexa Bliss and Liv Morgan easily, and anybody of that stature is not believable. You can't write it. That's why when Liv beat her, the only way to do it is Dominic turning on her. So it worked. But then if you have her face off against, say, Naomi, how's that gonna work? And like, it's, Naomi has speed, but Rhea has speed too. She's not as fast as her, but she has some speed of her own. But then now you're waiting for Rhea versus Bianca or Rhea versus Jade Cargill. But that one's a money match, so you kind of don't want to give that one away so easily, so quickly and early. So,
nor do you have a heel in that match right now.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right.
You don't have a heel.
You don't have a heel like now.
You don't have a reason.
Yeah.
My biggest thing is the one thing that would also, that's what I'm saying. You can have Rhea go off on her own if the rumors about Raquel are true, because what I want to see with Judgment Day, because there is such a disparity in terms of weight and muscle, I want to see Dominic build his own faction within a faction. Because Finn has JD. And Dominic has Carlito, but like, Carlito is Carlito. You have Liv bring in Raquel, who has history with both her and Rhea. And you bring in Raquel as a heel, which is, again, will do wonders for her character because she's much better as a serious heavy than she is as this bubble face, smiley, hey, look at my back type of thing. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But that's only if you get the okay that like she's healthy and ready to go.
Yeah.
But again, I will pound the table for like we need Jailhouse Dominic back with Out the Mud. Like you need that. And like everybody named Mother know he gonna break up with Liv at some point. But like,
oh, can you imagine if they put him with Lola?
No. I'm telling you, bro, don't do that. Don't do that. I get it. I get where your head is at. I understand.
It's either Lola or Jada.
That's what I'm saying. The money is with Jada. Why is the money with Jada? Because not only is Jada mean and she's got like a mean streak and she's tough, she can wrestle, she's got that swag, but she also has a strong enough character where she's the medium between what Liv is and what Rhea is.
Yeah. I think I was watching some of her highlights. I'm trying to figure out in that was it 2 weeks ago when she came in to help Lola?
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at there's some botches, but I couldn't figure out. I have to look at it again. I don't know if it was her fault. One was not her fault.
Mm-hmm.
One was the one girl, she was supposed to kick her out the ring, but she didn't fly out. She didn't go out.
Yeah.
Good enough.
Yeah.
That wasn't her fault. Another one was, I think she was flipping somebody over or something, but it's like I couldn't tell if she didn't get her high enough over or the girl didn't just jump over high enough. So I would say like you have to watch it again. And the concern is, are these issues hers or is it the other person's?
I mean, again, I'm not saying call Jada Parker up anytime soon.
No.
I'm saying because the Judgment Day is such in a weird spot, I feel like you can almost have factions within the faction to where like you see Dominic with the flannel. Because again, I'm a proponent. Bring black flannel Dominic.
I'll say this. The best time to if you're going to do that, the best time to make that happen, call up Out the Mud with Jada Parker is to back up Dom, WrestleMania.
Yes, but hear me out. I'm not even talking about calling them up yet. I'm talking about, you know how they always have the segments in the back where like you'll see people in the background and stuff. I want to see like you see someone that kind of looks like Dom, and this is the first. And again, because notice whenever you see Dom, you see Liv, right? Mm-hmm. Have Liv show up and be on the show by herself, and they're like, "Yo, where's Dom?" I don't know. I haven't heard from him. Like he's not answering my calls. And then you see Dom in the back in NXT talking to Out the Mud.
Not even that. You
right?
can have.
Look. Okay, hold on. You do that, right?
Uh-huh.
And then you start seeing Out the Mud, like start to win a little bit. And they're like, "Yeah, no, we got some really good advice." And Jada's like, "Oh, from who?" Like, "Oh, I think we got a new friend. We want you to go talk to him." She's like, I got some other stuff to worry about. But they keep winning, but she keeps losing. She's like, all right. Let me meet this friend. And it's Dom. And he's like flirting with her. She's like, nah, bro, like, what are you doing? And she's like really like off him. But that's when you turn on the Eddie charm. And every time he like kind of turns on the charm a little bit and Jada's like, what the hell's going on? That's when you see Liv show up. So it builds the animosity a little bit where it's like, we all know what's fitting to happen. But Liv is so oblivious to it. But it makes Dom an even bigger heel because it's like, oh, he did it to Rhea. He's going to do it to you. He's going to do it to Jada. He's just going to be that guy.
Yeah. And you have Jada come on the show one time, walking in with the flannel.
Mm-hmm. With his flannel specifically.
Yes. Yeah, with his flannel specifically. And you're like, that looks familiar. Like, and some people might get it, some people might not.
Right. But then she walks past the Judgment Day.
Mm-hmm.
And again, Dom's not there. And it's like, you don't even have Liv notice. You have like Finn notice or something like that. And it's like, isn't that Liv? Isn't that? And everybody's like, nah. But then you start to see out the mud, like wear like the purple flannels, and like you start to see them wear the Judgment Day colors.
Little details.
Like you slowly build it because again, Dominic's still like, doing his thing, and he's still, oh no, we're still the Judgment Day. But then you do what he did with Priest, where like when they're not looking, you start to see his face change. Especially if the plan about him winning the Intercontinental title off of Jay is really a thing. If that really becomes a thing, then to me it's like, oh no, we really have to you have to have him kind of flex his muscle a little bit.
Yeah. I can't wait for that one because I think that's the plan. It's just a matter of when they're pulling that trigger, because it's like they've been grooming Dom, and Dom has shown his ability in the ring has gotten so much better, and then the man just has heat on him. Like he doesn't even have to say a word, and he's got heat on him, and he's better as a heel than a face right now. I'm sure maybe in like a couple years or so, or like 5 or 10 years, maybe he can make that transition.
It's one of those where he reminds me too much of Chris Jericho in terms of his heat, where like he's so good as a heel that the only way he's going to be a face is if people cheer him no matter what he does. The way, it organically turned that way for Eddie and Jericho and those kind of guys.
Yeah.
But there's no way to turn Dominic face.
No. Especially right now with Ray in there. After what they've been through, there's no, and he still throws shade at his father. He still played that kayfabe. So it's like you can't. There's no point. The man has heat. Like I said, he doesn't even have to say a word. He has heat just standing there, and he gets booed at. He got booed at his own wedding. That's how he.
Yeah, like that's crazy. But you know what I also just thought about? Because of the age difference between like him and everybody else on the main roster, it doesn't work on the main roster. But what if there's a situation like Dominic becomes Intercontinental Champion, but he starts to spend more time in NXT, and you can use him to kind of turn the women that you wanted, like the uber baby faces that like no one ever expected, like a Sol Ruka. The reason why she turns heel is because of Dominic. Because at some point you're gonna have to start calling up all these heel girls that like have been around forever, and you're gonna have like all these uber baby faces with like no heels, and you can use Dom almost as like like he's that toxic guy.
He's gonna be the Godfather.
Yeah, essentially. But again, it works better because not it's not even like you have like Eddie Thorpe, you have all those guys, but like this guy is the Intercontinental Champion. He's not the NXT champion, the North American he's the Intercontinental Champion. You get what I'm saying? But he's like the scumbag of all scumbags.
And the way you can play it off when you turn one of those women's heel is you have him face off whoever is the North American champion. You go like title for title, winner takes all, and then if the guy, whoever is the North American title champion at that time, has a female ballet, he flips her. Bam.
Yep.
And it doesn't have to win it. It doesn't have to win. It's just DQ where like they both keep their titles, but you do that to kind of flip her. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody's supposed to win it, but you're like, oh my God, you're like, oh, this is be a good match. Like, is Dom gonna have both belts? It's gonna be 2 belts Dom, or like, is this person gonna have both belts, IC and the North American? So much can happen right there, but then like, no. At the end of the day, it's a DQ. Nobody wins, and we just turned this ballet, flipped it from a face to a heel. Have a nice day.
Yeah, so I'm like that's what I'm saying. Like I think the future is a lot more interesting than what's going on right now.
Yeah.
And that's a little bit of my problem, because I'm like, oh, Damian Priest versus Finn Balor, Bad Blood should be more. There should be more animosity here, and it's not. Like there's just not.
The animosity is there, but it's not there. If you know what I mean. Like,
yeah.
You know
not
it's
not
there. But
believable.
yes, thank you. It's not believable. Like it
Not
really,
believable.
yeah, because it's like because Judgment Day lost too many times. It's like, come on.
Yeah, like their first night as the new Judgment Day, they got beat up. And you think we wasn't like again? You think we're? It's the same thing with like Chad Gable's group, where it's like, yeah, it looks nice. One, the name's stupid, and two, y'all got beat up. The first time y'all came together, y'all got beat up. So like, I'm supposed to take you seriously now?
Yeah.
Nah.
All right, next match. Staying with Judgment Day. Liv Morgan's defense against Rhea Ripley.
I think it's Liv. I think the problem with this is that you put the title back on Rhea, and then what?
It was all for nothing.
Yeah.
You're back
and
to
then you
one.
have to, and like the one thing Judgment Day has going for them right now is that like they have the women's title and they have the tag titles. You take the women's title away, you know, you ain't got nothing. My issue is that again, outside of Rhea, what are you doing with the women's division? That's my problem. That's really what the overarching issue here is. When Rhea had the title, you did nothing. She was too much in Damian and Finn's business. Now you got the title on somebody else. You got the same problem. They booked themselves into a corner. I think Liv needs to get the win. I definitely don't think it needs to be clean. I think this is when you bring back Raquel. And then you have Raquel, Liv, and Rhea in a program, along with like Dom being the master manipulator on like the side. But you also have to build the rest of your women's division, and just doesn't look great. Honestly, it doesn't have enough star power.
Yeah, I have Rhea winning by DQ though. So Liv retains, but Rhea wins by DQ.
That would also be fair. I could deal with that.
Crystal has Rhea winning as well.
Mm.
She also had Finn winning the last one too. I didn't mention that one.
Well, I'm happy I'm the contrarian in this point.
Well,
Finally, I'm on the other side.
I mean, this one is one of those where you can't be, and same thing with Damian Priest and Finn Balor. It could go either way. You know, the Nia Jax has to be Nia. If you go to Bayley, it's what's the point? You know, what's the point? All right, so now this is where we're gonna get interesting. CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Hell in a Cell.
I think you almost have to give it to Punk, because you need to use this as a springboard for him to get back in the world title picture. You kind of have to. A little bit. Because the thing is with Drew is that because Drew has the history with Gunther and Drew already has all this history with everybody in the main event scene, you can fabricate and generate, like you can just have, like you have that animosity already for Drew. So you don't need to do much to put him back in a favorable position to go after the title. With CM Punk, because he got hurt at Rumble, you lost all that time. So you have to now give him a reason to then be able to challenge, to be able to not only challenge Gunther, but to have other people then challenge him. Because the thing is, you want him to be like, oh, I'm going after the world title, but look at the line, and the line's going to be like, nah, fuck all that. You ain't jumping me. Sammy just lost. You ain't jumping this person, that. So everybody's going to kind of want a piece of CM Punk. Drew McIntyre is just a dick that every babyface wants to fight. So, like, you can have him go after fucking Jay. You can have him go after Karrion. Like, you can put Drew just about anywhere and it's going to work. You can't do that with CM Punk. You have to put CM Punk back in the position to be, I don't want to say be relevant, but be title worthy. in a lot of ways.
Mm.
Specifically, you have to set him up for a semi-big rivalry going into Crown Jewel and Survivor Series. Kind of have to.
See, so you're going with CM Punk then?
Yes.
And so is Crystal. See, here's the thing. Drew McIntyre has not won a Hell in a Cell match at all. I think it's he's 0-2 or 0-3.
Mm-hmm.
I think Punk is the opposite, 2-0,
right,
3-0. Easy money says CM Punk wins, stays undefeated. Drew McIntyre loses. And they started enforcing this where Drew has never won a match in Hell in a Cell, which kind of leads me that he will win this match. But my thing is, what the heck is next for both of them? At this point, what's next for both of them? No matter who wins or loses, what's next for both of them? I mean, do you put CM Punk in the title picture?
Not if he loses.
Not if he loses. No, but when he wins, you put him in there. But does he skip the line, or how does he go?
That's the thing. I don't think you put him against Gunther immediately. But I do know that there are other people that he can work with. Like, he's never worked with Sammy. You know, like, if you really want to look at who's in the title picture right now, he's never worked with Ludwig Kaiser. He's never worked with Braun Breaker. Let's see.
But Braun Breaker's a face now. That's the
thing. True.
Or are they going to make him a tweener, though?
Yeah, you can use him as a tweener a little bit. And I think he just did an interview about a bunch of people he's never worked with before.
Okay.
So, like, you have a list of people where giving him the win gives him justification to have all of those interactions, right? If he loses, then where's the credibility?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I'm leaning towards Drew, right? And then I'm leaning towards Drew, and I don't see them putting him in the main title picture. Maybe the mid card.
My thing is,
I don't think he's got to end at some point.
I don't think you put him in the title picture in terms of like him going head to head with Gunther. I think you put him in the main event scene, though, if that makes sense. Like, he's in the main event stratosphere. The thing is, with CM Punk, if you have him lose, how much longer are we gonna go on? Well, this is CM Punk. You know what I'm saying? Without him actually being a credible threat. Beating Drew makes him a credible threat. Drew's done enough at this point for him to be a credible threat, win or lose. If anything, this is a side mission for Drew because this is a distraction. You know what I'm saying? Punk needs this to, like, reestablish. I'm here. I can still wrestle. I look great. I just beat a former world champion. I am also a former world champion, but I beat a world champion that's been a world champion within the last 5 years. You know what I'm saying? So it's very difficult for me to look at this match and say CM Punk winning and CM Punk losing is a good thing. Yeah. Especially when the only other feud that you can give him is Seth Rollins.
Not really, because he's going to feud with Bronson Reed now.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's my point. That's exactly my point. Versus a situation where, you know, and that's the thing too, because Seth was a part of the blow off with the first match between Punk and Drew, and he had Drew win. There's no animosity really there either.
Yeah, this is like a conundrum. I feel like they're gonna keep this going for a while. But that's annoying because it's like, okay, you have to end at some point because
again,
you
have to have Punk go over to do that.
Yeah, but the thing is, you had what? You had the special guest free match with Rollins. You had the
rope match,
the horse collar match. No, the strap, the four corner
strap match. I was like, I know it's not a horse collar.
Sorry, I was looking at the records that somebody had a dog collar match. Sorry. Now you're having a Hell in a Cell. Yeah, that's 3 gimmick matches. 3. So at this point, you have to end it. So whoever wins this,
and it's a Hell in a Cell, so you have to blow off the trilogy with a Hell in a Cell.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm going with Drew because I think they might give him his first Hell in a Cell win. But if that's the case, it's like you said, you put yourself in a hard spot because what are you doing with Punk now? Because you can't put him in the main title picture after losing.
If you do it, you can't have it be clean. You have to do it where someone else that Punk's immediately going to go and feud with cost him that match.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to do it where something happens in that Hell in a Cell that causes Punk to lose. Yeah. And it's not clean at all. That's the only way that works.
Yeah.
Also, my biggest issue is why the hell is this match not the main event? I don't care about who you think your quote unquote blockbusters are. This is the most bad blood feud you have on the card. Like, this is my problem with the way that they book stuff. This should be the main event. There's no reason why we should have a match after this. There just isn't.
I know. Well, the main event is going to be obviously Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns versus the Bloodline, or how we're calling them, Timu Bloodline. Crystal has Timu Bloodline going over.
This one is so fucking hard because, like, here's my thing. The only way this works, is you don't get a return tomorrow. You save the return for next week, which it's gonna suck and I'm gonna hate it, but you might need to. And you have to have Roman take the pin. You have to, because you have to make Roman look vulnerable enough that he now has to humble himself and get help. Do you get what I'm saying? And you have to protect your champion. You have to. Or this one ends in no contest. Those are the only 2 options you have. Under no circumstance can Roman and Cody win this match.
But see, here's the thing. Because of the fact that they're facing Solo and Jacob, all right. The only way this can end is a DQ in favor of Cody and Roman. Because are you going to have Jacob or Solo get pinned?
Right. No, and that's what I'm saying. That's the only way this match works. That's the only way this match works. Mm-hmm. It's like the trouble of having Cody in this match is now you have to protect Cody. And you also have to somehow and I feel like it should be Jacob that takes out Roman and like is about to go for the pin, but then he like grabs Solo. Like you want to really lean into the fact that like Jacob is the reason why Solo's going over. Solo's not doing this by himself. Much the way Roman began to look weak when Solo was dominating and Solo was winning him all those matches. You kind of want to do the same thing. You want them to be mirror images of each other. So like for me, I get what you're saying. I think but I'm going to say I think Timu Bloodline wins and Roman takes the pin.
Really?
Yes.
All right. this is how I see it happening. I see Cody and Roman winning by DQ because I see the Tonga brothers getting involved, causing disqualification, and we have the return of Jimmy tomorrow night. And
I mean, I would love that personally. I would love that because you need Jimmy back, and you need. I saw an interview recently with Roman where Roman was like, "Yo, before you couldn't tell them apart. Now you know who Jay is. You have questions about Jimmy. They both have fleshed out characters." But I disagree because I don't think Jimmy's fleshed out. We've never seen Jimmy. The thing is, every time they were going to do that, Jimmy got hurt.
Yeah.
So you have to give Jimmy his story.
I think Jimmy's is fleshed out. It's just a matter of it playing out. You know what I mean? Like for example, like when he went to Jay, he's like, Jay, I saved your life. I got you out of the bloodline. You on your own, you're doing a thing. So it's kind of like his story's fleshed out where like you thought he was the villain, but he was actually being the hero by saving his brother, getting him out of the bloodline to go on his own. So it's like, I'm dealing with all the crap here for both of us. You be you and do that. So like, and I think and that's the thing too, man. Jimmy has the worst impeccable timing for his injuries, man. All the time, bro.
All the time.
And it sucks, man. It sucks so bad.
The thing is that Jimmy doesn't even need to come back and fight at this point. Jimmy needs to come back and cut the promo of his life.
And he could do it.
And that's the thing. It's like, because the promo literally is, y'all booed me, but tell me I'm wrong. Jay's your Intercontinental Champion because I got him out the bloodline. Solo is running roughshod because he has the Ulafala. What did I tell Jay? You were the right-hand man and he wanted you to be the tribal chief, but that power is poison. Look at what it did to my little brother. Look at what's happening. He's doing the Rikishi thing without it being campy. Like, I did it for The Rock, but he's saying I did it for Jay.
I did it for The Rock.
Yeah, like he's doing that, but it's not campy. It's not goofy. It's literally, and again, he could play off of Jay's promo and just be like, yo, I was with mom when you sent that message. And he could even say, like, mom sent me back. I wasn't going to come back, but mom sent me back because she knows I still need to watch over you. So it gives Jay the whole, like, man, fuck you. Like, stop trying to take all the credit. But also it gives Jimmy this, he's the sacrificial lamb. He's the real sacrificial lamb in this because he's had to sacrifice for Roman. He's had to sacrifice for Jay. He's, in a way, had to sacrifice for Solo because they had to sacrifice him in order for Solo to take the spot that he's got right now. So where does that leave Jimmy? So in a lot of ways, it sets up a situation where if you want to flip Jimmy back to heel when all this is done, you can do that. If you want to keep Jimmy face, you can do that. But you don't have to reunite them because Jimmy's now has this thing of like, you have yours. You have yours. They don't even know me yet. So until I can go and get mine, I can't come back to this. And it gives you that almost like you finished the bloodline story, but it's still unfinished. A lot of what you did with the Shield, when everybody's like, oh, the Shield's going to get back together. And Dean Ambrose is like, nah, we had to handle some business, but I'm not doing this again. You get what I'm saying? So and it puts Roman in that similar light again of like, every time I try to reunite things, like it never kind of sticks together for me.
Go into what you're saying. You could do that, but then you can actually have it where like, hey, look, man, I'm here, but I'm not here for you. I'm here for me because my brother got this, you got that, he's got that. I ain't got nothing. So I got to find my own thing right now. I got to do me. I help
and
you
that
out.
immediately, and then you immediately put him in the U.S. title picture.
Right. But then
expeditiously.
Right. But then you'd be like, hey, but I didn't come empty handed. said to bring these two brothers for you, and you
Mm-hmm.
don't have to like show who. You know what I'm saying? You can say Roman like, oh, okay, I could work with that. I could work with that. You have no idea who it is. You don't know if it's a Tonga. You don't know if it's
Mm-hmm.
Hikuleo and Zilla. You don't know if
Mm-hmm.
it's like somebody else, like a bunch, because there's Samoans everywhere. So you don't know who Samoans will send. You just
Mm-hmm.
know they were Samoans. And he's like, okay, we're doing war games. Or you can bring them out one by one, however you want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, you have an idea. It's Hikuleo, but you don't know who the fourth one is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you present it. You're like, okay, it's Roman and his new bloodline that you don't know of
Mm-hmm.
for war games. And Jimmy could be like, I'll be here for war games, but then I'm out. But I got backup for us. And you know what I'm saying? And that's it. And then, but he, like you said, I got to find my own thing. You know?
I like that, but I also don't like it because I don't think this is about debuting like new people just yet. I think if they're gonna bring in new people, Roman has to be the one to do that, not necessarily Jimmy. I like the whole Jimmy having a real conversation with Roman, like, listen, bro, you f***ed up with my brother. You did that. And you have to have Roman be like, you know what, you're right. I did, but I need you now. And he's just like, listen, bro, if we do this, this ain't for you. This ain't for you. This ain't about your ego. This ain't about Solo. This ain't about them. This is about me getting my brother back and us getting our get back. And you have to have Jimmy and Roman go to Raw. Go to Jimmy. And you have to have them have that moment of like, we
Closure.
see you. Yeah, like we see you. We understand now. Like, you got it. But we need you. Like, we understand that you're main event Jey Uso. But I need my brother back and he needs his right hand if we're going to go and do this. And when we're done with this, you could come back and be main event. We ain't even going to stop you no more. Like, we not holding you back. We realize you're bigger than us now, but we need you to handle this with us. And you can have Jay say no. I would have Jay say no.
Right.
But I would have it right before you have Dominic versus Jay. And because Dominic's done business with the bloodline in the past, and he has a rapport with Solo, Solo sends the Tongas. Actually, I would have Solo send Jacob. And you have Jacob cost Jay the Intercontinental title. And then after the match is over, he's pissed off, he's angry. And then that's when you have Paul Heyman show up and hands him the phone. And then all you have the episode go off, he's just like, I'm in. And that's the end of it. And that's how it goes off. He's like, I'm in.
Yeah.
Because then it's personal. And then that's when you have them come back. The question is really, is do you have Hakaleo or do you keep it a buck and keep it with Sammy? Because I think as much as I hate it, I think the money is with Sammy. The problem I'm going to have is now you're pulling Sammy out of his own stories. So it's like, if you're going to do the Sammy thing, you do it like right before War Games. Or you don't even, you have it where it's just the three of them versus the four of them. And like, there's a fourth guy. So it's like, oh, is it Hakaleo? Is it this? Is it that? And then you have it be Sammy because it's like, I got you. Because again, the favor is paid back to Jay. It has nothing to do with Roman and Jimmy. You have it go full circle where Sammy comes back for Jay and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no love. And it's like, even if they win, there's no love. Like, there's no, like, we did this to handle business. Yeah. We're not a thing anymore.
Yeah, you could have it where like Roman's like, we need a fourth and this and that. And like Jay's like, hold on, I got a fourth. Don't worry about it. I'll make a phone call. And that's it. You go like that. And then like the night of, you're like, okay, dude, where's the fourth? He's like, he'll be here. Don't worry about it. And you can give hints to throw it off. Like if it's Sammy or Hikuleu. Like you can find ways to where he's hinting at it could be one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
So that it's not throwing you off for like, oh, it's Sammy. Like, oh no, wait, he said this, so that I mean it could be him. Or wait, oh, he said that, so it could be him. That way it's not because everybody knew like when Randy was coming back.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It was not the best kept secret.
No, it's not. It wasn't.
But
was CM Punk, but
yeah. But in this aspect, you can't keep it if you like because we don't know who it would be. You can have him throw it off where like he's hinting at both, and you're like, okay, who the hell is it? Until you hear Sammy's entrance come out, dun, 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 and it's like, oh, it's Sammy, and he's gonna get the pop.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as he goes in the ring, him and Jay do the, you know,
and then you literally just have like a nod of acknowledge. Like I want to see him like get face to face with Roman, and it's more of a like a okay, like we ain't cool, but okay,
yeah,
like I respect you.
Yeah, he can't call him tribal chief because he's told Jay, he's like, you're my tribal chief,
right?
So for him to call Roman Reigns tribal chief will be a slap in the face of Jay. Like you call me your tribal chief like not too long ago.
And again, you have to have it because again, if Sammy comes out at the end, that means the match is already starting. Everybody's already getting beat up. So you have Sammy come and help and run roughshod. And then when Roman's like recovering is when he sees Sammy. And like you can even have him hug Sammy when Sammy's like, whoa. Nah. Like you can have him do like the double tap and just be like, let's handle it. And then like you can have it be a situation where like Roman does the one, Jimmy does the one, and then like Jay and Sammy are just like, yeah, no, and they just leave.
Yeah.
So it's one of those where like you still kind of see Roman like, all right, we won, but like Roman's still alone. Mm-hmm. So it's like again, you get the band back together, but Roman is still very much alone.
Yeah, because like we were saying, like you said, Jimmy's like, hey, I'm just here for this because I gotta do my own thing after this.
Mm-hmm. So like again, Roman's gonna be the one to be like, oh, I'm throwing up the ones, and like nobody else throws it up. Like, yeah, they win, but nobody else throws it up. Nobody. They're just like, we handle family business. Now I'm gone. Mm-hmm. I'm gone.
Then you got that back signal to call me when you need me, but don't be calling me every time.
Yeah. And then, but what I want to see is the handshake between Jimmy and Jay. Like, I don't even want to see a hug. I don't want to see all that emotional stuff. I just want to see like we still ain't cool either, but still my brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I said, we got to get that Jay and Sammy like handshake going on there.
No, because again, they've been cool this whole time. Mm-hmm. So like you gotta, and like you can even have Jimmy try to do it, and they be like, no.
You can do like you said. Sammy comes in, runs rough shot. Jay gets up. He's like, yeah, pop, pop, pop. You know, and then like you said, Roman goes to shake his head. He's like, what the hell? And you know, he's like, oh, he goes to hug Sammy. He's like, slow your roll, man.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see that. That's the only reason why that needs to be the main event is if something is gonna happen.
Something's gotta happen.
Yeah, because you can't make that, like you said, you can't have that as the main event when the actual Bad Blood match is literally Drew and CM Punk.
Right.
You know,
unless you're telling me that there is a Bad Blood aspect to this Roman Cody Bloodline Wolfpack match that I'm not seeing. Because if it's just, oh, they're enemies that are friends now and they're working together to take down this new bloodline, and it's like, there's not enough bad blood there. It's not enough.
Like that whole thing at Church of Tech Stadium, it was cinematically, it was great. Mm-hmm. I loved it. It looked great. It looked like something out of a movie. Mm-hmm. And the fact I was like, oh, is it Georgia Tech? Oh, damn. Like there was a lot of tidbits that like they were throwing out there, and I liked it. He was like, oh yeah, I built this stadium. And Cody's like, I built this town.
Yeah.
The city is mine. You can have the stadium. The city is mine. You know? It's like, oh, like it went good. So it's like But again, like what you're saying though, there's like this match. The Bad Blood literally is between Team Bad Blood and Roman Reigns. Cody's there is like, hey, the enemy of my enemy is my enemy.
Yeah,
the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Pretty much. So it's like, but there really isn't no bad blood between you anymore.
Right.
There? So it's like, but again, like that's the only thing. The reason I can see them having this as a main event, something's gotta happen.
Something's gotta happen. Yeah.
Is it Jimmy? Is it Hikuleo? I don't know.
Is it both?
Is it both?
Is it both?
Is it Zilla and Hikuleo? Like who knows?
It could be.
Who knows?
It could be. It definitely could be. And again, the more Samoans that show up, the more it makes sense, because the thing that's gonna try to make it is they're gonna have to try to make this thing whole after Roman broke so much of it. That's what's gonna be the interesting part, is how are they gonna make this whole? How are they gonna make this work? That's what it is. And I think that's what everybody's like, okay, can we start to see the mending of defenses? Because you can't just give us a Jay's gonna forgive this guy, everything's gonna be cool and gravy. Like, we need time to tell that story too. And it's like the closer we get to War Games, the less time we have to tell the story. So like, and two, I kind of wanna, before like Jay's like, I forgive you and like I'm good, I kind of want to see him and Jimmy have a rematch that's actually worth the billing, with some story, where it's like, all right, you want me to join you, you gotta fight me.
Yeah, like that Mania match, it's like, I know they wanted the Mania moment, but I felt I felt like we were robbed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what was going on. Was Jimmy hurt? Was he was?
I don't know.
So well? I don't like. You know what I'm saying? Like it was strange. Because like, okay, we know Jay has it, but Jimmy's like, just Jimmy didn't look like himself. Like it was weird. Like his moveset was like trimmed down. So the only way that goes is usually because there's an injury. So he's like, you're trying to limit it down now. You know. So I was just like, damn. So I kind of want to see him again, go at it again. It's not going to be the WrestleMania moment match they want to have, but it might be the match that they need. But it might be like, you know, kind of like Cody and Dustin had that match at AEW. Mm-hmm. Like, this is the match we wanted. It might be like that. The second match they have might be the one that they actually wanted to have.
Yeah. So, and I think that you need that. I think that you definitely do need that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, 5 matches on the card for tomorrow. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, how it ends, and what happens after that, because the result is going to be interesting to see, you know?
Yeah, I think next week is probably more interesting than tomorrow, honestly.
Yeah. I can see that as well. I agree, because you have to start building for War Games, and you have to start building for Crown Jewel as well.
Yeah.
Literally start building for Crown Jewel, because that's 2 weeks away.
And low-key Halloween Havoc, because like you could play some of the main event stuff, especially with CM Punk spending so much time down there.
Yeah. We'll see. Any last words before we?
Forgot to mention, Trick Williams' name was also dropped on SmackDown today during the AJ Carmella match.
Really?
Yeah. He was more like, I wonder. Corey was like, I wonder how he feels about his old running mate winning the NXT Championship last on Tuesday, and I'm like,
I'm surprised AJ didn't say anything about that on the when they were going back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, they were throwing shots, but it was because the crowd was so on AJ's side. Nothing that Carmelo said really hit with the crowd, because they really did not care what this man had to say. But he had some hitters. He was like, listen, bro, if you weren't such a quitter, you would definitely be WWE champion right now. And I was like, Like, they were throwing some shots. I was just like, okay, all right. Yeah. But the crowd just was, and that's another thing too. This crowd wasn't it? It just wasn't it.
Where were they again?
They were in Nashville. Like, Nashville is definitely a weird crowd. It's a weird crowd.
Yeah, because tomorrow's Atlanta, right?
Yep.
Thought they would
which
have
is
been
a
there
quick
already.
little hop, skip, jump.
Yeah.
You know, it's like quick, like hour on the plane or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a few hours driving.
Yeah,
before everything
so
shut.
it's nothing too crazy.
Mhm. Nope. Well, I'm interested to see who shows up.
I hope someone does show up because if I'm building this in my head and it is another subpar C-list pay-per-view, I'm gonna be pissed.
I'm gonna be pissed if you put this Bloodline match as a main event and nobody shows up.
And you do nothing with it. Like
And,
it's gonna be like,
yeah.
bro, why are you wasting everyone's
and,
time?
and then you have the Hell in a Cell match, which is the match of the night, and you pretty much put that either to kick it off or somewhere in the middle. When
That's the
should be
thing.
main event.
It's probably gonna start. It's probably gonna start it. If it's not the main event, it's probably gonna start it. So,
and that sucks because at that point that's gonna be a banger. We know.
mm-hmm.
So, and I get it. They're trying to do like NXT. Remember back in the NXT, the first match, banger. So it's like it's on a roller coaster ride, like just goes up, and I get it. But that main event with the Bloodline, that's if they do it like WrestleMania, it'll work. You know what I'm saying? When they take you on the emotional ride or whatever, it'll work. But if they give you like a subpar one, like which one was it? With Cody and Solo, it's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work. Yeah.
That's back fire.
But I do think I saw some promo stuff for Bad Blood where you see Paul Heyman with Roman again. So that might also be like a little bit of the storytelling too, where he gets his wise man back and now they're slowly starting to build back up the bloodline. So hopefully, but we'll see.
We'll see. All right. Thanks for joining us. Good night.